Happy Red Shirt Friday. Yes, we're a little early. I gotta do some actual work today, so I've got to run around and get some things done. But I wanted to pop in because one, it's Friday, two, it's the Friday before Christmas, and the Friday after our awesome event, Wreaths Across America, on Saturday in Oak Hill. And for those of you that were there, thank you so much for being there. We had an awesome event. I personally was super sick, and all I kept thinking was, please let me make it through this ceremony. So some of y'all thought I was a little angry. Well, I did warn you. I did say I was going to be grumpy. We had all of the boxes that arrived were delivered. We do have a few that just came in today. So the office smells a little wonderful. But a lot of the questions that were asked was, okay, I'm ready. I want to do this for my cemetery. I want to do this locally. And I had 3 or 4 of y'all ask me, and again, because I wasn't feeling well and it just wasn't the time where we could actually speak, that I was able to answer it. So I'm trying to follow up with those people that were asking. For those that asked, I did post the song that Abby sang. She sang the veterans version, Hallelujah, and it's absolutely beautiful. There was a lot of people that did come and say that it made them cry. And her voice is absolutely beautiful. She's offered to do it again next year. So we're gonna have to figure out what theme and song we'll choose for that day. For everything that you saw Saturday, that is pretty much the ceremony that you would be responsible for putting together if you want to do that in your cemetery. So first things first, if you would like to do a Wreaths Across America and become a location coordinator, you need to look online and see if there is a local cemetery close to you that has somebody already set up to do Wreaths Across America. If they do not, then your next thing would be to speak to the groundskeepers. Now, the groundskeepers are the ones that take care of the cemetery lot, and you have to get permission. If they allow it, then, which most times they will, you're going to work with them, because the next biggest part from that is to find all the veteran grave sites. And a lot of times you can get maybe a group together and do like a project. Maybe like the Boy Scouts, the Girl Scouts, the cadets, or even a senior project. Somebody was doing like a, what do you call it, the genealogy report. And what they did was they kind of walked the cemetery and they would look to see the maps, and they plot them, and you basically kind of do maybe a Word document or probably a Excel spreadsheet, and you're going to pretty much walk the entire cemetery and look to see who is a veteran. Now, some of the grave sites and the headstones, they are so old that you really can't tell who they are, much less if they're a veteran. So sometimes, and I'm going to try to get some close-ups of some photos, so sometimes you'll see like a small emblem. It'll say, it'll either be not necessarily the branch of the military, but it may say that they're members of the American Legion, or maybe an emblem of something that they belong to that would state that they're military personnel. So it will take you a little bit to do it. Maybe work with the Kiwanis. So we lucked out and somebody had started a map, and then the Kiwanis every year for Memorial Day and Veterans Day, they go ahead and place American flags on the grave sites. And then Trish Gardner is our location coordinator, and she went ahead and took the map, from the high school project, the map from the groundskeeper, and the map from the Kiwanis. And with all 3 of them together, they were able to match all of them. So we were able to make sure that on Saturday we could take care of them. Unfortunately, Saturday morning we had this huge storm, and the storm kind of knocked away some of our markers. And some of our markers are they were just little American flags. I have some. So this was all that was on there to tell us where the gravesite was. So you have the website, the groundskeeper, and a map. Once you map that, you will know how many veterans that you need to be able to have sponsored. And then you get to go through your year-long tribute to raise the funds to sponsor each cemetery. So as most of y'all learned this week, it was pretty much a year-long of asking for $15 sponsorships. In May, we had a BOGO. Currently, we're doing a BOGO right now to the end of the year till January 15th. So Maine must receive your check and or online, and they are doubling. So if you buy one wreath right now, they will sponsor another one, and that'll be for 2020. The reason they do that at the end of the year, and they don't pretty much promote it hugely because everyone's pretty much exhausted, is because we will need some coverage for next year. So like we wanted to raise about $2,000 this year because we wanted to send some to Bushnell. Bushnell was short, and a lot of the cemeteries are short because if it's not us, like people that we rally together to talk about and teach people, to let them understand, the wreaths just don't show up. We have to do a lot of work behind the scenes to get it to happen, and we have to get them sponsored. So we had some great sponsors. Some of them sponsored for the first time ever. Some of them are annual sponsors. We have some that don't feel like if you don't have the money you can't do it, and feel like you can't visit. Volunteers, y'all are priceless. I need help. I need people to get us groups where we could talk to about Wreaths Across America, because it's also part of the program. We have to remember, we have to honor, and we have to teach, and all the teaching engagements. So if you help us, you know, some of y'all came out and y'all hustled boxes into my office, hustled boxes out of my office. We picked them up and took them to the cemetery. We prepared them at the cemetery. If you were there, we took all of the wreaths out of the box, and then we placed them around in kind of like a U shape behind the flags in the ceremony area. And then this way you were able to help out and participate. So it's not about the money, it's not about the sponsorship, it's also about the heart and the volunteers, because that was also a lot of work. And like I said, I was sick. There was no way I could lift any more boxes, and like I said, I was lucky I was standing, and then I had to read this in front of everyone. And so sorry if I looked angry, but I wasn't. So now more volunteers. We will need volunteers in January. January, about the second week. I think it was the second week. Let me look real quick. The January 18th. We'll need people to come back to the cemeteries and pick up the wreaths, because they're live wreaths, and so they're going to kind of get a little, especially here in Florida, they're going to get a little yuck, for lack of better terms. And that, you know, that's also a big help. There, I would check with some of us or the location coordinators, because last year we had a farm that wanted them, so they got recycled. So it's not something that anything goes to waste, and all of the volunteer hours are truly appreciated, and I'm super grateful. So if you want to kind of talk to us or Trish, or find out if your local cemetery is already signed up for Wreaths Across America coverage, don't feel like you can't help either, because like next year we're picking up, I think, 2 or 3 more. So we're going to go from 11 to maybe 13, 14 cemeteries. But we also have a group that are planning to take over and cover 3 of them for us. So we're just going to be kind of coordinators and helping out. So that also helps. So please let me know. Also, if you want one of the programs that we had, I had a list of, I did have a few errors, so thank you so much. I finalized it that evening and then printed them that morning. And so that's another thing that somebody can go ahead and help volunteer with. That'd be nice. Yes, yes. And so we had so many groups out there. So super quick, the ceremony, we had Abby Bird, she sang. Then we had the Advancement of Colors, and that was the U.S. Naval Sea Cadet Corps and Claremont Battalion and the Boy Scout Troops 551. The POW MIA table, that was a new addition to this year, and we did an explanation of the POW MIA table and setup. Kim Bumgardner, she, no, that's, yes, Kim Bumgardner did the prayer, and then we had Ginger Feeney, and a veteran, and she read the Soldier's Christmas poem. Then we had Alan Venzio. Sorry if I mess it up. He did the taps. That always just brings me to tears. And then, of course, we had the Retirement of Colors with the U.S. Naval Sea Cadet Corps, Claremont Battalion, and the Boy Scout Troops 551. And they always help us out with our events. In fact, those are the boys that did were here for my raising of the flag ceremony and blessing of the building when I first opened up my company here on Claremont. So it's always nice to see them. And they were so well mannered. There was the Girl Scouts that did the Pledge of Allegiance. So we had so many people and so many children. And there's some great photos. If you've got some great photos, please post those on our site. I would love to see them. It's the link, Friends of South Lake, Reach Across America. And if we can put them all in there, that would be super awesome. There was some great shots. We had some drone video this year. If you did not see the drone video, please go check it out too. Martin did a fabulous job on that for us, and for him that was a way to volunteer. His father is a veteran, and so it was his way of giving back, so I could always appreciate everyone's help. Any questions? I see some of y'all looking, and you know I'm always usually at the end of the evening, but like I said, I got to head over to a couple of different places, pick up some Christmas gifts, because you know. In light of Christmas, I would like to just put it out there that if you are still trying to do some donations for your last write-offs for 2019, Reach Across America is a nonprofit foundation. That would be great. You know, I always give love and volunteer time to Greater Claremont Cancer Foundation. And then due to personal reasons of my families, I would love for you guys to revisit the organ donor site. So my husband's aunt just had a double lung transplant, and it looks like my daughter-in-law is going to need a kidney transplant. So I did talk about organ donors and putting it on your license a couple of months ago when I had gone to a funeral, and it was really oh goodness. I was gonna lose some words here. It was hard for me to go to it because of the age and how close the age is to my own children. But so please, for something that you can easily do, a lot of people thought that all they had to do was put that they're an organ donor on their license, and that would be enough, and it's not. So let your families know that you are an organ donor and to have them follow your wishes. I am an organ donor, and I also an O positive, and I also went and did filled out the information on the site. And I'm gonna cheat here because I can't see. So once you log in, you have to go and register not only on your license, but you have to go and sign up. So if you go to organdonor.gov and sign up, but then also let your family know, because if your families don't know that you're an organ donor, it might cause some issues between the family. And that's a time where you really don't want to be struggling on fighting over whose wishes or what. You want to have them followed. And let me see here. The what did I have last time? So now, anyone can be an organ donor. All adults in the U.S. and in some states, people under the age of 18 can indicate their commitment to donation by signing up as an organ donor. Now, there is no necessary age limitation. Newborns as well as senior citizens have been organ donors, and whether or not you can donate kind of depends on your physical condition and the condition of your organs, not necessarily your age. A friend of mine this year, her husband received a heart transplant, and he is doing awesome. And even though you won't necessarily always have your license on you or an organ donor card on you, so you want to definitely register on the site. Let the families know, maybe have it in a will, and just fill out the information. And then I will post a copy of the website on here. A lot of times it's simple as maybe getting your blood tested and to know what blood type you are. Unfortunately, I can't find the paperwork for my son, so we're going to have to find that for him. But so I've chatted enough. I just wanted to give your information about the Wreaths Across America. Please visit and look at the video because that was awesome. And that was a lot of work for him to take care of for us. And it was a donation. So he volunteered his time and then donated the video. Thank you all for volunteering and showing up and being there when it's super counted. And I'm so glad that you enjoyed the ceremony and now you're ready to continue to make a difference and make this something that your company or maybe your family will continue to add and do annually. I will leave y'all alone. I won't be hustling for funds right now. Just so you know, though, it's BOGO. Buy one, get one. We could use some more for 2020. And then if y'all have questions, come pop in the pink door, come visit me. I'm always here, sort of, except for today. And just so we can end the day, because I always end it with something cool. So today is National Ugly Christmas Sweater Day. So let's see some photos. Post some of those lovely sweaters. I've seen some of them. Y'all are having a little bit too much fun designing those sweaters, so they're pretty awesome. And then for tomorrow, I could not resist. Maybe it's because y'all waited till the last minute. Maybe because your heart is just not grown that big yet. But tomorrow is National Humbug Day. So it recognizes the Ebenezers, the Scrooges, the Grinches, and all of those who suck the joy out of the holiday season. So I know I officially don't like anything of the decorations to come up until the day after Thanksgiving, and I start listening to Christmas holiday music maybe the week before. I'm not a total humbug, but I do say let's honor one holiday at a time. So I am going to end this with I can't wait to see you next week. It'll be the last official Friday of the year. Enjoy your Christmas. If you go to real life, say hi. I will be at the Christmas Eve celebration. And y'all have been awesome. Y'all have made sure that I had a topic to speak about for every Red Shirt Friday, and I appreciate it. So signing off, as usual. Thank you so much. God bless, and have a great weekend. Merry Christmas.